peacekeeping should be. And I think that the Security Council in its present avatar doesn't have, neither has the will, political will, nor the capacity to meet those challenges. For example, 70 to 80% of the problems or the conflicts are today in Africa and Asia, right? And that occupies majority of the time of United States, but there is no representation from these regions in the Security Council. You look at the population of Asia today, it's about 4.8 billion. You look at the population of Africa, it's nearly 1.5 billion. And population of Latin America is less than 1 billion. It's about maybe 0.7, billion or something like that. So where is the representation there? We are talking about an era which is the post Second World War era, 1945. The world has moved. So what has happened now that while most of the members of United Nations Security Council are amenable to reforms and representations, but they are not likely to relent on visa. Let's face facts. Now, there are different kinds of contestations for the Security Council which are in the offing. One is the group of four, which includes the four countries, including India. Then you have what you call as the consensus for unity, and that is those countries which are not very happy with giving permanent membership to these four countries and two countries of Africa. Within Africa, there is no consensus because there are two countries which are contenders, Nigeria and South Africa, but there are other countries who don't want them to be on the high table. And the same is the reality in case of Latin America, right? Because Brazil is being contested by Mexico and also by Argentina. So it's a very complex situation, but that notwithstanding, we can always work out a formula where even if the veto power is not granted immediately, there is a reasonable representation of these countries there. Now, once you have, say, whether these are permanent members without veto or you have rotational members with a longer duration, these are two models. I'll not discuss those models. But what is important is that within the existing, construct, what are the reforms that can take place within Security Council? And the first and foremost is, like, I would say the pen holder privilege, which the group of five, they hold. I mean, they cannot decide about the agenda of what is happening in Africa and Asia. So the group, what you call the pen holding, has to be delegated to other countries, particularly the countries where the problems are, the host countries or the African Union, European Union, these. Similarly, you need to have maybe co-pen holder kind of a system wherein some troop contributing countries come and they decide what kind of an agenda you should have and what kind of mandate you should have and how the mandate should be put there. Similarly, interaction with other international organizations who are going to be the stakeholders. This is something which is extremely important. Now, one of the biggest stumbling block for deploying peace missions today is the veto. Now, I think there is a near consensus that on the issues of genocide, wherever the atrocities are being committed and there is a responsibility to protect which needs to be invoked, the veto should not be exercised. And should still a dissenting member exercise veto, there is a provision that that member has to explain in the United Nations General Assembly what are the reasons for that veto, right? And in the UNG General Assembly, then you have what you call is intergovernmental negotiation, which should be text-based, and then some kind of a accountability should be fixed on the permanent five, that why they are making decisions in the manner in which the decisions are being made. So these are some of the changes. If they are brought in, I'm very certain that this reform and even expanded National Security Council can immensely contribute towards the new challenges of peacekeeping. And these are not only confined to humanitarian security, But there are new strategic frontiers which are coming up. For example, use of disruptive technologies, artificial intelligence, big data analytics, outer space, cyberspace, information space. These are, you know, a weaponization of economy. No, these are the new areas which are affecting people, right? So with this enlarged and reformed United Nations Security Council, perhaps the scope will increase and will be in much better position to put together the mandates and have mechanism then to see that these mandates are fulfilled from womb to tomb kind of a situation. So I'm very certain that this is a step which is overdue and it must start in the right earnest. Thank you.